Hey, are you moving to Nashville and struggling to decide which area of Nashville you want to be in? Maybe you know you want to be in Davidson County area, but do you want to be east, west, north, south? So many things to consider when you're considering a move to Nashville. Today we're going to talk about east versus west. Which might be the best place for you? See you on the other side. Okay, in today's show, we're going to look at two different areas of Nashville. Nashville is really defined into 21 neighborhoods. If you were to ask about different neighborhoods, there are about 21 in the Nashville-Davidson County area. What we're looking at here is obviously just straight smack downtown. What you'll notice when you look at our map is the Cumberland River really winds its way all over Nashville. And the East Nashville side here is very easily defined by that river. This is Shelby Park. It's very easily defined by the river and then Highway 31 East. West side is not so easily defined. So if you were to ask many Nashvillians where exactly is West Nashville, we'll talk about it a little bit later, but it's over here. Today, we're going to talk about the differences in East Nashville, West Nashville, who lives where, who it might be great for, who may not love each side, and see what you think. Nashville is one of the most eclectic cities in the country. People from all over the world have moved to the city because of the music industry. So over time, we have evolved into a city of transplants. And many of the Nashville neighborhoods have taken on their own sense of diversity and community along with those transplantees. East Nashville and West Nashville are two of the hottest neighborhoods in recent years, each having their own sense of style, each having its own undeniable differences. Some quirky, some original, all of them very unique to each part of the city. Just what are some of those differences? That's what we're going to talk about today. So there are some real differences in East Nashville and West Nashville. East Nashville, as you can tell from the map, is far more isolated, it's far more defined by the river than is West Nashville. If you ask 10 different people to define the borders of West Nashville, you come up with 10 different answers. East Nashville is really a well-defined area. It's also an area that was early developed because it is right there at the river. As I mentioned, my grandmother, it really became a big area for a lot of German immigrants. A lot of German immigrants started over in the Lockland Springs area, which is a part of East Nashville. Easy access to the river and very close to a really good park. We'll talk about that later too. One of the things that people like to complain about Nashville, especially if you are not a transplantee, especially if you are a native Nashvillian as I am, is our traffic stinks. Now we're going to say it stinks all over the city, but if you're coming from some of the larger cities, you really don't think much of our traffic at all. West Nashville has far less traffic than East Nashville has for a reason, but it is a far better defined area. With that definition, with that isolation, East Nashville is a little hard to get in and out of. There's actually one way. If you're deep into East Nashville, the one real way to get in and out of it and across the river to downtown is via Gallatin Road. One interesting thing about Nashville is there are really no defined borders of West Nashville. You ask any three people and they're going to give you a little bit different ideas of exactly where is West Nashville. West Nashville is west of the river. West Nashville is west of the immediate downtown, down by Lower Broad area. It's west of that. Well, that's a big duh. But what exactly is west and how far west does west go? Is it all the way out to Bellevue? I say no. Is it down Charlotte Avenue to the Sylvan Park, Sylvan Heights, Murphy Road area? I think it probably is. So that's what I'm going to talk about when we talk about West Nashville. Are we going to go straight north? No, we're just going to kind of stay west of that pocket going all the way across. West Nashville is easier to get in and out of because there's many more thoroughfares getting you in and out. You can go to Charlotte, you can come in Interstate 40 from the west. There are lots of different actually lots of different ways to get from downtown from the west side of Nashville. Just a fact. Depending on where you define West Nashville, East Nashville is more expensive than West Nashville. Now that's really, argue this either way because it truly depends on how far you're talking. If we're talking about West Nashville as only being the Sylvan Heights area and very close in, tight into downtown Nashville, then I will agree with this. East Nashville has become very hip, very trendy, very gentrified in recent years, and thus very expensive because it is very close into town. But if you want to widen the borders of West Nashville to include going on into Sylvan Park and further south, then absolutely not. You can't say that East Nashville is more expensive. So what that means is there are pockets of each area that outweigh the other as far as expenses go. You can find very expensive areas in both. You can find very affordable areas in both, relatively speaking. Now, if you've been around my show for long, and if you haven't, where have you been? But if you have been, you've heard me speak many times about the beautiful parks and outdoor life that is here in Nashville. West Nashville undeniably has more and prettier, I can't say that, but I will say it, prettier parks than East Nashville side. We have the Percy Warner and Edwin Warner parks. Now it's further west than the parameters that I gave you, but that's what you got. We also have Centennial Park. We have McCabe Park. We have so many greenways, parks, golf courses, and East Nashville has some pretty spots. West Nashville has them beat. One thing that nobody's going to disagree with is East Nashville has more hipsters than West Nashville. There's no fighting that one. You're going to find in East Nashville a lot of vinyl resale shops. You're going to find a lot of just cool, hip, trendy things that is far more typical in East Nashville side than is coming in the West Nashville side. That goes back into just being the eclectic artsy scene that is in general on the east side. Vinyls, record players, lots of used and vintage clothing stores. A lot of the kind of things that you associate with hipsters is going to be over on the east side. Oh, cool, very fun, laid back vibe. Because East Nashville is more defined, because your access to East Nashville is really in and out on one 5-lane street, which is Gallatin Road. Because of that, East Nashville tends to have more traffic jams than West Side. Again, I could argue that any which way you want to go, depending on where you define the West Nashville area. Suffice it to say, at drive time, peak drive times in East or West Nashville, you got to add on some minutes, you got to add on some time for that drive time traffic. I forget to say this all the time. I'm Susan Thetford with eXp Realty. I'm a native Nashvilleian realtor and retired general contractor. I do shows every single week to share with people the information that they need to know if they're thinking about moving to the Nashville area. Please do what so many people have done. Give me a call, give me a text, write me an email, send me something to let me know that you're considering Nashville and you have questions. Happy to answer them for you and to help you in any way that I can. But meanwhile, go ahead and tap that bell so you are subscribed. You'll get an announcement every time we drop a new video because I take you to different neighborhoods, different communities, different other counties so that you can visit Brentwood, Franklin. We do lots of vlog tours. You don't want to miss out. Now this one's big for many people who come from different parts of the country, especially if you come from California. West Nashville has Trader Joe's. West Nashville also has Target. Not Target, 2 Targets. Shopping in the West Nashville area is a breeze. You're going to find both local stores and boutiques when you get into the more the Green Hills Mall kind of area, but you're also going to have a lot of those up and down the Sylvan Park area. But what you also have is the Home Depots, you have Targets, you have Trader Joe's, lots and lots and lots of grocery store options. Also have the turnip truck. So as far as shopping goes, I really think West Nashville has the East Nashville side beat. One area that you will get no argument about is the fact that East Nashville has far better tacos than West Nashville. Best taco shops in East Nashville. You're going to get Rose Pepper Cantina, Mas Tacos, and Local Taco. When you Google taco shops in West Nashville, you're going to get Taco Bell, maybe Moe's. They've got us beat. East Side wins that one hands down. So no Target, no Trader Joe's, no problem if you're a big music scene person. East Tennessee.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Gee, East Nashville, not East Tennessee, wins that one when you're looking for live music venues, when you're looking for that Monday night, Thursday night, live music, after work kind of local neighborhood haunts, East Nashville is going to be your vibe. Now, West Nashville definitely has East Nashville beat when it comes to formal cultural venues. And what I mean by that is the Cheekwood Fine Arts Center is down toward Belmead. It's further west than I've been talking about, but Cheekwood is there. You also have the Frist Fine Arts Center, the Skirmerhorn Music Venue. You've got the Tennessee Performing Arts Center, what we call TPAC, for Broadway shows and a lot of the smaller in the round shows. We have the Country Music Hall of Fame right close to downtown. So the west hand side has many cultural places that you will want to visit. Whether you live on the east side or the west side, it doesn't mean you can't go from one to the other. But as far as the formal cultural facilities go, West Nashville has the East Beat. Motown Mondays or Jazz at the Five Spots or live music at the basement are three local East Nashville haunts that anybody who lives in that area can tell you is three of their very favorite spots for live music. Don't really know of any that I can think of off the top of my head for live music on a continual basis like that that's more local over beyond the big venues that I mentioned. But if you want to find live, fun, local music, and you could possibly see some pretty big stars pretty much anywhere you go, East Nashville has West Nashville licked. West Nashville also has far more hospitals, medical care. Now you've got that medical care on the east side too, but Vanderbilt has far more options when you really need some more hospitalization care. You've got the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital and the Adult Hospital. You've got TriStar Medical Centers. We've got St. Thomas West and St. Thomas Midtown. So the west side does have a lot more medical facilities and office facilities than the east side. And I gotta give this one to East Nashville too. Sorry, Hattie B's. When it comes to hot chicken, which Nashville is so famous for now, when it comes to hot chicken, it was invented at Prince's Hot Chicken, and that's in East Nashville. Now, you're gonna get good hot chicken all over town. Hattie B's has several places, Prince's, there's a lot of good hot chicken. But if you want the original, you want the hottest, you are that kind of person, and I don't know how anybody eats that stuff. I can't even eat their macaroni and cheese. There's just, I think the spice permeates the mac and cheese. But the banana pudding, oh my goodness. But original hot chicken, East Nashville, hands down winner, Prince's Hot Chicken. And last but not least, to many people, upscale shopping is really on the west side. And again, I'm giving the broader sense of the west side since we absolutely know what the boundaries of East Nashville is. But from the broader sense, there is a lot more high-end upscale shopping, or shopping of any sort, basically, on that west-hand side. Again, please realize, they're not that far away from each other, so you can easily access one and the other. We don't have boundaries that are that tight. As you can see, East Nashville, West Nashville, they each have a whole lot to offer to anyone. Who is each for? Well, I will say I don't consider myself a hip, trendy, I'm not a giant music person. Food is less interesting to me than beautiful outdoor scenery. So for me, I prefer the west side as far as where I'm going to put down my roots and buy a home. Now, if I were younger, hipper, cooler, music industry, arts industry, if trying out new, hip, trendy restaurants consistently was my vibe, if farm to table, if I was just a different type of person, if I had maybe children, I'm just different than most East Nashville people. And the East Nashville people would not want to live what I am. They'd love to live there, but it wouldn't be their perfect place. So there's no right or wrong place. It's the right place for each person. And because Nashville is so eclectic, because it is so diverse, there is a right place for every person, which is why we need to have that phone call. What is it you enjoy? Are you a foodie? Are you more of an outdoorsy person? Do you like the river? Do you want to be near the lakes? Do you have a family and you want the best public school system for your kids and you need to have a place because you've got 3 giant dogs and you've got to have a backyard with some space in it? Or do you like more of a high-rise kind of condo area? Do you want a very small yard with big front porches and walkable community? So many things. And no, I can't tell you where's the right place for you until we have a conversation So that's why I invite you. Let's have that conversation. Let's find the perfect spot for you, and let's see where the road takes you. Until next week, I'll see ya. Be safe. Remember, tap the bell. See you next week.